My dad thinks we're soft. That's life. Who said it'd be easy? Hates it if I cry. Doesn't know what to do. I keep trying to say that it doesn't have to be that way. And surely the improvement in her already speaks for itself. But to be honest, we protected him from the worst of it. His golden girl she is. It all started when she went to secondary school. She's always been quiet, but it was so much bigger. And her best friend from primary school, Sinead, she was in a different class. She's always been bright. In the first 2 years, she really held her own, studying every night in her bedroom, getting good grades. Every parent's evening, a pleasure to teach. Bryce said he wondered where she got it from. I thought I was doing the right thing when I told her how proud of her I was and how fortunate we were that she wasn't hanging around with the wrong sort. It was year 9 that I really noticed a difference. She got a new maths teacher and her grades dropped. When I tried to speak to her about it, she said the teacher didn't like her and what did maths matter anyway? And then the stomachache and not wanting to go to school. Whenever I tried to talk to her about it, she'd just shrug, almost monosyllabic. I was worried, so I made an appointment to see a form tutor. A teacher said she was worried about her too. Said she was a loner. Thought she might be depressed. She suggested that we make an appointment to see the doctor and ask for a referral to something called CAMHS. Well, that worried me. So I made the appointment. She didn't want me to go in with her, but I insisted. The doctor was nice enough, but it was just so difficult to get anything out of Lisa other than school was different now. No one understood. Nobody liked her, and she was useless. The doctor said we should go back and speak to the school, and in the meantime she'd make a referral to CAMHS. But she did warn us about the waiting time. So I made an appointment at the school, this time to speak with the head of year. The day before the appointment, I found a razor blade in a top drawer when I was putting her washing away. It was then that I realised the marks on her thighs, they'd not been caused by the dog jumping up. I felt sick to my stomach. I wanted to drag it out of her there and then, but something said, no, wait until you've spoken to the school. Thank goodness for Mr. Bates. He said we were right to be worried and that they were too. And now that they had this information, they'd speak to somebody and let us know what to do next. The next day we got a call from the school nurse, and with her guidance that night, Brian and I sat down with Lisa and said we knew that she thought we didn't understand how different school was, and perhaps we didn't. But we did know how unhappy she was and how much pain she was in, and that it didn't have to be that way. Well, the lid came off. She cried. She said that she just didn't want to let anybody down, us or Grandad. She agreed that if the school nurse could arrange, she'd speak to somebody from CAMHS the next day, though not at school. She was adamant, but she would. It's early days, but I mean, if we all work together, I just pray it's not too late. I just want her to be happy, to be her, to have a little bit of confidence, even if she's not going to be a Nobel Prize winner. I just wish we'd picked it up earlier and not put it down to big school or the usual teenage angst.
This is Jenny's story, mother of Lisa, who is 13. Jenny describes how, in Year 9, her daughter had become more withdrawn and clearly was struggling at school, though previously had been a high achiever. The school thought she might be depressed and suggested an appointment with the GP, who then referred Lisa to CAMHS, the Child and Adolescent Mental Health Service. Jenny felt more could be done, and after speaking with the head of year, the school nurse was able to support Jenny and her husband to discuss Lisa's feelings with her. They were able to request further input from the CAMHS team when it was discovered that Lisa was self-harming. The governing body reflected that the account indicated the need for more support for children, young people and parents at an earlier stage. This is being actioned by the Clinical Commissioning Group with work specifically on emotional well-being.